Hello, everyone, and welcome. Have you ever tried to do something that felt, well, really difficult all by yourself? Today, we've got a fantastic story about a wise old farmer and his sons that's got a powerful secret about why working together is almost always the better way to go.
But before we jump in, let me ask you something. What do you think is better? Doing things all on your own or teaming up with your friends and family? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we get into our story.
Okay, so our story starts with a family. You've got a farmer, and he has 5 sons. But here's the thing. This family had a huge problem. The 5 brothers were always, and I mean always, fighting with each other. It could be about the smallest, silliest things. Now, don't get me wrong. These sons weren't bad guys. Not at all. They were actually really strong and incredibly hardworking. The problem was, all that great work just got completely buried under their constant arguing and fighting. And as you can imagine, this made their father very sad.
That poor farmer, he tried everything he could think of. He'd give him really good advice. Sometimes he'd even get frustrated and scold them. But nothing seemed to work. It was like his words just went in one ear and right out the other. He was getting seriously worried about what was going to happen to them if they didn't stop.
So the farmer, he thought about it long and hard. And he had this realization. Words just weren't cutting it. He needed to show his sons the problem. So he came up with this really clever plan, an idea to teach them a lesson they would never ever forget without saying a single word of advice.
So one afternoon, he calls all 5 of his sons over. He doesn't say a thing at first, he just holds something up for them all to see. A bundle of sticks all tied up really tightly with a piece of rope. The sons were just confused. What on earth did their father want with a bunch of sticks?
And this is where the father's plan really kicks into gear. He tells his sons, I have a challenge for you, a test of your strength. He holds that bundle up high and says, I want each of you to try and break this bundle in half.
And just like that, the test began. All 5 of them, remember? Each one known for being strong was going to get a turn. The oldest son, he stepped right up, totally confident he could snap it, no problem.
There was only one rule, and it was simple. You have to break the bundle, just as it is. One single strong unit, all tied up. So the first son grabs it. He tries bending it over his knee, he's twisting it, he's using every single muscle he has. But that bundle, it wouldn't even budge, not an inch. Then the second son tried his luck, and then the third, and the fourth, and finally the 5th. Each one of them gave it absolutely everything they had, grunting and straining with all their might. And the final score? A big fat 0. Not a single one of them could even put a crack in that bundle, let alone break it. They just stood there, tired and totally defeated.
Now, seeing them all fail, the father just smiled, very gently. He took the bundle back from them, and with practically no effort, he just untied the rope. Then he handed one single, thin little stick to each of his sons, and he said, very quietly, now try to break this.
So each son took their one little stick, and snap. It broke so easily. One right after another, you could hear it. Snap, 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 snap. They all just stared at their father, and you could see the confusion on their faces slowly turning into understanding.
Okay, this was the moment. The most important part of the whole day. The father sat his sons down, and he finally explained the real meaning behind his strange test. This was the moment the big lesson would finally, truly sink in.
He looked at each of his sons and said, Do you see? When all the sticks were bundled together, none of you could break them. They were strong. But as soon as they were separated, they were weak and easy to snap. The very same is true for you. If you are united, you will be strong. But if you are divided, you will be weak.
So what was this powerful lesson all about? It's about one simple but incredible idea, unity. And what is unity really? It's just being together. It's being joined as one team, one group, one family. It's about the amazing strength we find when we're not trying to do everything alone.
And this isn't just a lesson for some farmer's sons in a story. It is a powerful lesson for all of us, for you and for me. This idea of being stronger together, it applies to pretty much everything we do in our lives, at school, at home, with our friends, everywhere.
Just think about a great sports team. Why do they win? Because every single player works together. They pass the ball, they support each other. One superstar player can't win a whole championship by themselves. Or, think about building something cool with your friends. It's always way better when you share ideas and help each other out. And of course, a family is always at its strongest when everyone looks out for each other.
So, after hearing this whole story about the farmer and his sons, what's the one big idea we should really remember? What's the moral of the story?
Well, it's captured perfectly in this very famous saying, "United we stand, divided we fall." All this means is that when we stick together, when we support each other, we are strong. We can face any challenge. But when we let things like fighting split us apart, we become weak, and that's when we can easily fail.
And that really brings us to our final thought for today. I want you to think about the people in your life, your family, your classmates, your friends. How can you practice unity with them? How will you make the choice to be united today? Thanks so much for joining me.